Hello students, this is Taran, class 10th mathematics teacher. Today we are going to begin with a new chapter, that is circles. You all are familiar with the two-dimensional plane figure circle, that is a collection of those points which are at a fixed distance from a fixed point. If you draw a circle, what happens? You place a tip of the compass at a point and then you open a compass to a certain distance and start collecting all those points which are on your way. So the collection of all such points makes a two-dimensional plane figure that is referred to as circle. This fixed point is called center of the circle and the fixed distance is called radius of the circle. So this is how we define a circle. You are familiar with number of terms related to the circle, that is called diameter, sector, segment, etc. We are not going to discuss these terms now because you've already done in your previous class. Now the concept which we are going to discuss today is a bit different one. Just see carefully these three cases. We have a circle and a line over here, but all these three cases have something different. In the first case, it is quite clearly visible that the line is not intersecting a circle. Whereas in the second case, the line intersects the circle at two distinct points. And in the third case, the line intersects the circle at a single point, unique point. That means a line touches a circle. So in these three cases wherein the line intersects the circle at 2 points, then that line is called secant. I've mentioned it over here. A line which intersects the circle at two distinct points is called secant. And a line which touches the circle at a unique point is called tangent of the circle. So from these three situations, we come to know two new terms. First one is secant, that is a line intersecting the circle at 2 points. And the second term is tangent, which is a line intersecting a circle at a unique point. So these two are of utmost importance to us now. Some more terms we are going to study now. The first one is point of contact. Now just see through this figure, we have a circle and a tangent PQ. Now this tangent PQ touches the circle at a unique point, that is R, and this point R is known as point of contact. That means a point which is common to a circle and a tangent, that is where the tangent touches the circle, that point is called point of contact. Next we have a circle can have infinite tangents. Now you people know that a circle is made up of infinite points, and at every point we can draw a tangent to a circle. So combining both these concepts, we come to a conclusion that at each point of a circle we are able to draw a tangent. So a circle has infinite points, that means we are going to have infinite tangents, one at each point of the circle. So there is only one tangent at a point of a circle. If you have only one point, there you can draw one tangent. But collectively, just because we have infinite points, so we can have infinite tangents. The next is a tangent is a special case of a secant. Naturally, if you see carefully, we have a circle with us and this is the secant. Now, if these 2 points coincide, if these 2 points become a single point, then this secant will become a tangent. So a tangent is a special case of a secant wherein the two endpoints of corresponding chords coincide. These are the two endpoints of a chord. When these 2 points coincide, that means they become a single point, then that line which was secant becomes a tangent. So a tangent is a special case of a secant. Then we have two theorems in this chapter. First, we'll begin with the first theorem, that is the tangent at any point of a circle is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact. This is a very, very important theorem which will be used in so many questions. It says the tangent is perpendicular to the radius. See diagrammatically, I have drawn a circle with center O and PQ is a tangent over here. Now radius is OR. We have to prove that this OR radius is perpendicular to the tangent PQ. So to prove is OR is perpendicular to PQ. How we are going to prove it? It's a simple theoretical proof. If you see carefully, we are going to take a point S on PQ. Since S lies outside the circle, if you see carefully, if you take any point on line PQ, just leave this R point, except this R point, if we take any point on this line PQ, that point will lie outside the circle. As that point lies outside the circle, so distance of that point from the center, suppose we have taken point S over here, so distance OS will naturally be greater than OR. OS is greater than OR. Same way, if you take other point T on PQ, again OT will be greater than OR because T also lies outside the circle. So we can take a number of points on PQ and all the distances will be greater than OR. This means OR is the shortest distance from O to PQ. And being the shortest distance, it is the perpendicular. A theorem which you have studied in class 9, that of all the line segments joining O to PQ, any point to any line, if you are joining line segments, the perpendicular one is the shortest. So here OR is the shortest line segment, so it is the perpendicular one. Vice versa, these situations are true. Shortest distance is perpendicular and perpendicular one is the shortest. So herein, in order to prove that it is perpendicular, we have first proved that it is the shortest distance. Now since it is the shortest distance, it is the perpendicular also. So this is the proof of first theorem. Next we have, there is no tangent to a circle passing through a point lying inside a circle. See carefully, if we have a circle and a point inside it, if you try to draw a number of lines from this point, you will see that all these lines are secant. None of them is a tangent to a circle. So from a point lying inside the circle, we cannot have any tangent. Same way, if we have a point on the circle, we can always draw a unique tangent from that point. So any point which is lying on the circle, it gives you only one tangent. And if any point lies outside the circle, see, if we have a circle here and any point lying outside, so from this external point, it is possible to have two tangents to a circle. A point lying inside will not give you any tangent, a point on a circle gives you a unique tangent, and a point outside the circle gives you two tangents. Then next term is normal. The line containing the radius through the point of contact of tangent is called normal to the circle at that point. Now you should have a point clear in your mind that any line which is perpendicular to the tangent is called normal. In future, when you will be studying these concepts, so you'll get to know any line which is perpendicular to the tangent is called normal. Herein we have studied that radius is perpendicular to the tangent. So as radius is perpendicular to the tangent, this radius is also called normal. Next term is length of the tangent. How to find length of the tangent? What we do is, if we have a circle with us and a point lying outside it, and we draw a tangent like this. From the external point, the distance from the external point to the point of contact, that means this PQ, that is the length of the tangent. So the length of the segment of the tangent from an external point and the point of contact with the circle, it gives you the length of the tangent. So these were few terms which should be clear in your mind while you are doing this chapter. Now we'll move on to the next theorem of the chapter. Only two theorems are there. One we've already covered and the next one is quite simple one. We'll study that now. Now this theorem is, the length of tangents drawn from an external point to a circle are equal. Just see, we are given a circle with center O. P is the external point. PQ and PR are the two tangents from this external point P. We have to prove that their lengths are equal. That means PQ is equal to PR. For this, we have a very simple proof. We are just going to join OP, OQ and OR. When we join them, we have two triangles with us. That is POQ and POR. We'll try to prove these two triangles congruent. See, angle 1 is equal to angle 2. Why? Because OQ is radius and PQ is tangent. Radius and tangent are perpendicular. We've already studied. That means angle 1 equals to 90 degrees. Same way, angle 2 is equal to 90 degrees. So both these angles are equal. OP is equal to OP common. OQ is equal to OR radii. From these three conditions, we come to a conclusion that these two triangles are congruent by RHS. And once they are congruent, PQ is equal to PR by CPCT. So a simple proof for the second theorem is there. Then a very simple question based on this concept. A tangent PQ at a point P of a circle. See, it's mentioned at a point P of a circle. That means this P is point of contact. Radius is 5 centimeter. It meets a line through the center O at a point Q. So we have to make a line from the center O joining a point Q. This length OQ is given to be 12 centimeter and we need to find the length of PQ. That is, we need to find the length of the tangent. If you see carefully, OP is radius and PQ is tangent. OP is radius and PQ is tangent. Since radius and tangent are perpendicular, so what do we get? OP perpendicular to PQ. As OP is perpendicular to PQ, in triangle POQ, just because it is a right angle triangle now, we can always use Pythagoras theorem. I told you earlier also, whenever you are having a right angle triangle, a Pythagoras theorem helps you the most. So using Pythagoras theorem, we have OQ square is equal to OP square plus PQ square. The side which is opposite to this 90-degree angle is always the hypotenuse. So OQ is hypotenuse here. We'll put the values. 144 plus 25. 144 is equals to 25 plus PQ square. This implies PQ square is equal to 119. Therefore, PQ is square root 119 centimeter. So this way, whenever you are given two sides of a right angle triangle, third side can be found easily by using Pythagoras theorem. So this was the concept, basic concept related to the tangents of the circle. With the help of this concept, you will be able to cover up your exercise 10.1. In the next lecture, we are going to begin with exercise 10.2. Stay safe. Thank you.